I'll see if I can find it before the. Never mind. We'll discuss it on the pod, I'm sure.
All right. Bel Air, Season 2, Episode 6, Let the Best Man Win. Viv is learning, much like most black people know. If you aren't born knowing how to play spades, it is literally impossible to learn how.
Hey, no, I'm not about to allow the slander now.
That's
I'm
a
not about to
fact.
allow the
That is
slander.
a
First of
known
all, no,
fact.
you don't have to be born.
You
This is what
literally
happens.
come out the womb knowing how to play spades.
No, you
I'm
don't.
convinced.
There's two type of kids, right? When at the cookout, after the sun go down and we done running around outside or whatever, and the mosquitoes is biting us up, and everybody done went inside and start playing cards. There was two type of kids. It was a kid who went in the back, had a little juice box, start watching cartoons, lay down and went to sleep eventually. There was another kid that stayed up all night as long as the adults was up, and they stayed quiet. And they sat there and they watched these adults play cards all damn night until they got of a certain age and they said, "Hey, you know what, Junior? Come here. Be my partner." And that is how you learn how to play spades. You watch, you pay attention, and you just play the game. It's so many like of our age people out here who you yell at me and oh my god, like why can't you just be nice to me and play the game?
That is a myth.
You need to know how to play this game the same way that white people know how to play hacky sack. Okay, this is our calling card. This is what we do. You need to know how to do this. It is also a battleground, okay? When we need to challenge another family, this is how we do it. Not violence with these books, okay? You need to know how to do that. If I walk into a party with you, Josh, and somebody say they playing spades, I expect you to yell louder than anybody else in the room that we got next.
I am going to chuck up the deuce and disappear like Homeboy in the meme.
Yeah, see, that is embarrassing. That's very Aunt Viv-like.
Because teaching somebody spades is a old wise tale. It is a black
folks,
myth.
Do not be the black person at the party who don't know how to play spades.
You are either
don't
born
be the
with
person
it,
when they're looking for a partner and they be like, "Oh, can somebody play with?" And you be like, "How you play again?" Or "Oh, it's follow suit, right?"
Here's what it is.
It's like Joker, Ace Deuce, something like that. Ace High. Yeah, I know Ace High. Let's play Ace High.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. Right?
Be that person.
Some kids in the hospital have the little pink hat, some have the blue hat, and some are born with black Air Force Ones and know how to play spades immediately.
Hey, listen, man. I just gave you what it was.
I just gave you.
You had to learn early. And even then, it's not a hard game to learn. It's not a hard game to learn at all.
It is.
It's ID player war by suits.
You can't learn. You cannot learn how to play. It's not possible. As a fact. Patience says, "That is me. She is me." Exactly. You either know or you don't.
Patience, you don't have to tell people. It's okay. It's all right. Some things we suffer in silence.
Patience has patience. People who play spades don't have patience whatsoever.
Because, again, most of the people who have been playing spades have been doing so
all
for a very long time. For a very long time.
With a deck of cards in their hands and black Air Force Ones.
It is a game that takes 10 minutes to learn. Right? After that, it's just practice. You know how to play I Declare War, then you know how to play spades.
Spades is gold tooth energy. Gold tooth, black Air Force energy. And patience agrees.
It's a competitive sport.
Patience agrees.
And if you don't have the muscle to play it, you should just say that.
Because you were literally born with said muscle.
At least patience is admitting it. You over here trying to blame all the people that know how to play for the problem. No, you the problem. You the issue.
Some people are born with like, some people can't handle like lactose and things like that. Some people are lactose intolerant.
So it's all the people that eat ice cream's fault that you lactose?
And some people
that's exactly what we talking about.
Not knowing how to play spades. And some people
hey y'all, Josh hates all NBA players because he can't dunk.
That's crazy. I didn't say that. That is
basically.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
William Moloch, another person, says they never learned spades when they were younger. So
Come
again,
on, but
you're either
at least
born
we're
with it
acknowledging that it's a thing that you usually just pick up. It's two
in the
type of
womb.
kids. Some of us learned very early, and some of us never picked it up and never gained the interest. So I guess that makes sense.
You,
But it's such a simple game, y'all. Like it boggles
nobody
me that
wants to teach.
y'all know how to y'all can play goldfish, y'all can play old maid, y'all can play what's that euchre. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Y'all can play all that. Y'all can play
I've learned
poker.
card games.
Poker is a infinitely more complicated game than spades. But there's so many more people that I mean to know how to play poker who can play stud or hold 'em, but don't know how to play spades.
I only kind of know how to play poker. There's literally not a way to kind of know how to play spades. Because if you only
It's
kind
a
of know,
million
you're
blackjack
terrible.
sharks out here. Y'all can count the deck up, down, and around, but we can't play spades. We can't follow suit.
Because those are games you can
Periodic
actually
Player
learn. And people actually have the patience to teach. When it comes to spades, nobody has the patience to teach anybody.
How much patience would you have teaching a 30-year-old goldfish? How much patience would you have with that person?
A lot more than spades
And
people
that
tend to
person was
have.
directly responsible for you losing goldfish. How much patience would you have?
If I lose with you in spades, it'd be like if I killed your brother. That's what it seems
Why
like.
aren't you answering my questions? If you were teaching an adult person how to play goldfish and they were the reason why you were consistently
I would be
losing
patient.
as you were playing with that person, you'd be pissed. It's
I'd
the
be
same
patient.
thing with spades.
Because the stakes aren't as high with goldfish as they are in spades.
They're both card games. The stakes are exactly the same.
Right, but the people who you play spades with are natural born killers. Black Air Force energy. I'm just saying. You either know or you don't. You're either born with it or you're not. Anyway, Bel Air. All right. So, again, spades players are born with it. Supposedly, Phil is trying to teach her before the big family reunion. Also, Mama don't want to stay at the penthouse at the Four Seasons. She wants to stay in the guest room at the Banks Bel Air mansion, which I imagine would be the same thing, basically. So I don't know why she's being so picky.
I mean, it ain't like you gave too much up saying, no, I won't stay at the Four Seasons, the fancy Four Seasons. I'll go stay up on the hill at my son's mega mansion compound thing.
It's the same thing. After giving Vivian a chore list, we find that Phil and his brother have sibling beef, which I don't know if Uncle Phil had a brother in the original one. I don't think he did.
Damn, we not about. I don't think we really saw Phil's family other than his mom, so they're just kind of expanding on that. Yeah. But we not about to slide past the fact that these boys picked Bill Bellamy to play a semi-serious role, and just about everything this man said was hilarious.
That's a fact. That is
like everything he said that we were supposed to be having like a heartfelt moment on, or we were supposed to have a serious moment, suspenseful. He was making me laugh. He was cracking me up.
Yeah, no, Bill Bellamy is wild. Where did you find?
Come on, son, don't fuck it up.
That was crazy. Oh, by the way, William Moloch said, "Teach us spades during a live stream, Marcus. Do it.
Oh, bet.
Do it. Do it.
Bet. We will absolutely do that.
Do it.
Bet. Spades tutorial. That's good evergreen content.
It sure is. You won't do it. You will be fed up through the monitor.
It will literally take me 5 minutes.
Okay. All right. G requested private word with Phil and Viv. Carlton is pumping iron for the family flag football game, which is supposedly tradition. One can only imagine that, much like the Founders Award, Will is going to take over and ruin this for Carlton. Which is what I thought at the time. Speaking of which, Will and Phil seem to think he'd have a good enough chance at winning, considering the fact that Phil thinks Will running would be triggering for Carlton for the Founders Award.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey tells Phil and Viv that he hasn't been honest with them, and he admits to looking for the adoption papers for his son. Viv doesn't give him the adoption papers, but she does give him what at the time I could imagine was a picture of his son, which it did turn out to be.
So, do you know what the overarching theme of this show is? Like, consistently from episode 1 all the way through now, how quickly they resolve conflict. This episode ended, the last episode ended with them discovering that Jeffrey is rummaging around the office. And then within 10 minutes of this next episode, it's over. It's over. He's admitted to it. They understand. They've moved past it. And now we have a much wider berth to develop what it is he's looking for, why, what happened. There's more room for that, and it's not pointless bickering that just is used to drive the plot forward, and that's all it is. That's what it would have been in a lot of other shows. They would have been like, Jeffrey, do you have anything to tell us? And Jeffrey would have played coy. And then they would have let him kept looking in the office until they understood where he was going. And it would have led up into this big, I got you moment. And then, that would have been the arc for the entire season, was them snooping on Jeffrey, snooping on them, leading to his son. Instead of that, we get some extra character development. It forces them to actually write stuff for the characters we're watching and not just fill it up with conflict and arguments and,
No,
BS.
For sure. I have a different perspective on something that happens within this family a lot, but I'll talk about that later. Dee from the Wayans brothers, a.k.a. Miss Jones from Friday, a.k.a. Redman's mama from How High, is playing Phil's mama in this episode. Grandma and Viv finna have big beef this episode, which I probably should have seen that they'd come together and have a nice little moment at the end of it. I probably should have seen that coming from the way.
From Bel Air? Absolutely. They weren't about to lead this episode beefing.
Which they're not the only ones. Will, Ashley, and Coco Jones are cleaning the greens, and after Will cuts off Ashley during one of her 5 lines this episode, Coco Jones asks Will if he's heard from Jazz because he's being distant. Apparently, she invited him to the reunion, and he's still leaving her on red. Ashley points out her trash move inviting a top NFL draft pick last episode, and she decides she's going to talk to Jazz face-to-face about it. Or at least she would have if Phil didn't stop her and tell her to get back to her dessert.
Hey, pause. After the pie was in the oven, what's stopping you from getting in your car and driving to go get Jazz? What's stopping you? I'm just thinking that the whole episode. Like, yo, what is stopping you from getting in your car and going to drive and knocking on his door?
Family business.
No, well, hold on, wait. Time out. Now I'm realizing what I'm saying. Don't do that. Don't do that. If somebody not texting you back, don't just show up at their place. Don't do that. That was bad advice.
Well, there's a step in between that.
Which is?
Calling them.
Okay, there we go. FaceTime. Okay, cool. You right. I thought about it and I was like, why don't she just go there, knock on the door, see if he's home? But then I'm thinking in terms of my relationship, how normal that would be. Don't be dating people and then they don't text you back for a long period of time and then just pop up. That's not a good recipe. Don't do that.
Yikes.
I wouldn't advise it.
No, me neither. Will is nervous about the family reunion because he won't know anybody, and G says he got him. As G walks off, Will talks. Jesus Christ. As G walks off, Will takes the time to be extremely nosy and look at the picture of Jeffrey's seemingly grown-ass kid.
Hey, yeah. He definitely doing a lot. He's definitely doing a lot.
Get out of this man's business. What's wrong with you? Phil gets caught up when Viv brings him his phone with missed calls from Erica. Why have you not told her? He explains why, but you could have told her something.
Yeah, Phil, you could at least mentioned it. I was trying to get our old client back. Guess who showed up? And then, at least that we would have threw it out there. But yeah, Phil, you playing with fire, fam. You are playing with fire.
That is a part of the toxicity of this family, and that I'll talk about here in a second. Will decides to double down on his nosiness and wants to find out more about Jeffrey's son. Fam, this is none of your business and has gone from 0 to entitled to other people's business in less than 5 scenes. Now all of a sudden you're just entitled to all this man's business about his son. Okay. G is running down the list of family members in rapid fire succession. Fam, give me a fucking list. This is too much to remember all at once. Eventually, everybody becomes auntie to Will. He just gives up. He's auntie.
Which, realistically, if he's Phil's nephew, I I'm just, I don't
Him not
see y'all.
knowing
How
them
do
makes
we do
sense.
this?
Yeah, him not knowing
Yeah,
them makes perfect sense. But
I'm not in the family, so like it makes sense for me not to remember or
yeah. But
notice everybody, recognize
that was a
everybody.
long list of people, and for him to have to do all of that is a little much. But
But see, I didn't grow up with a butler at my house, so if I had a butler, I'd probably have him memorize all the family members'
yeah,
names
but
and whisper them to me as I'm giving hugs.
that instead of like running the list down to me before I even see who all of them
But
are.
no, he was still standing behind him. That's what I meant. Like he was probably
Fair enough.
Wanda,
Okay.
Reggie,
Why is Wanda in the
Pookie,
family?
Lunetta.
Why is Wanda in the family?
Hey, the Wanda hate has to go. We've moved off the show. Leave her alone.
I'm just asking, why is Wanda in the family?
Leave her
Why
alone.
was it the first name too? Couldn't get a Franklin in
Because
the
I don't know
family.
Wanda. Probably.
Couldn't get a Teddy in the family.
And a Jerome and a Sissy
And a Teddy.
and a bear.
And a bear is nuts. No, you had to have an Oso in your family.
No, but why the hell would they be speaking Spanish? Please move on.
That was the joke. Anyway, Ashley tries to help Uncle Earl and he plays her to the left. Seems Uncle Earl only saves words for characters with more than 5 lines an episode. Bill fucking Bellamy is Phil's brother. Everybody's talking big shit about this football game, but it seems Bill Bellamy and son are the only ones with the trophy. Again, Will is going to take over and ruin this for Carlton, as so I thought.
Everything this man said was hilarious. Everything. Like, he wasn't trying to be funny and he was still making me laugh.
No, it's a fact. It's also coupled by the fact that where did you find Bill Bellamy? What is Bill Bellamy?
Bill Bellamy at? Where did you find this man?
He came straight from the Cousin Skeeter set, and then boom, there he was. Or well,
Def Comedy
Cousin
Jam.
Skeeter or Two Can Play a Game. That was the last time.
I was gonna say Def Comedy Jam.
Def Comedy Jam. That was before. Maybe. I don't know.
That was before. Nah, he wasn't in Two Can Play That Game. That was
Morris Chestnut.
that was Morris Chestnut. Yeah.
He was in one of those movies with Vivica Fox, wasn't he?
He was in How to Be a Player. He was in How to Be a Player was the one with Vivica Fox in it, I believe.
Yes.
It was Vivica Fox, Carmen Electra, and Stacey Dash. Back when Stacey Dash was doing hood movies.
No. She is not in that movie.
And How to Be a Player?
She is not in that movie.
Who?
Vivica Fox.
And How to Be a Player?
Yeah, no.
Who are the 3 women then?
Lisa Turtle from Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay. You're right.
I forgot about
And
that.
it was her, Carmen Electra, and Stacey Dash, right?
Yes, I believe. Yep, that's Stacey.
Why do I could have sworn that was Vivica Fox.
Or maybe I'm wrong on that too. I don't know. Hang on. You know what? No,
really
doesn't matter.
Vivica
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter right now. We're talking about Bel Air, not How to Be a Player. Anyway, at the domino table, seems like Will is loving everything Bill Bellamy is putting down about hustle and grit, and Bill Bellamy Jr. is having a hard time keeping Pops happy. Are you really looking this up?
I had to do it, fam.
Let's see. Viv is about to throw down on some food. However, Grandma says this is a fish fry and that all the food that she's about to make means
I know you didn't just show up to my house talking about this is supposed to be a fish fry and you see all this food out and you see all this stuff everywhere talking about some this supposed to be a fish fry. If you don't get the hell on, Grandma.
All this bougie ass food has to go somewhere. All this Whole Foods, Trader Joe's bullshit has to go. Get this out of here. We're making catfish. What are you talking about? I need white bread and hot sauce immediately.
Hey, Phil, come get your mama. Come get your mama, Phil. Come get your mama.
Coco Jones is looking for Jazz, who is still not responding, but lo and behold, for some reason or another, Phil has invited LaMarcus Alton to the family reunion. Even Grandma loves that nigga.
Wildin'. Her daddy wildin'.
That was crazy. I was like,
because you know damn well she not dating this man no more and that she got a whole nother boyfriend. Why you ain't invite Jazz? Why did you not make sure? Well, she invited Jazz. She invited Jazz for him. But like the fact that he thought to invite Hillary's ex so that he could win a flag football game and not her current boyfriend.
It's crazy.
That's nuts.
Even crazier, grandma absolutely loves that man.
Loves him. Well, but think about it though, like if you had a guy that you were dating when you were younger that showed up to all your family functions, he somehow become famous. Man, he gonna be the life of the party. Everybody gonna love him when he show up because they have a personal connection to him, and they've watched him ascend and become famous. So, like, yeah, they gonna wanna. Hey, what up, nephew?
Really
what up, young man? You know what I'm saying? Hey yo, so like that would be like the comparison. It'd be like Jamar Chase and who would be the Jazz? It'd be like academics. Would have to be Jazz.
This has been a great show tonight, guys. We will catch you next time. Academics is wild. That man couldn't even work social media 3 episodes ago, and now he's academics. Yikes. All right. Turns out Uncle Phil invited him for a leg up in the flag football game. Coco Jones tells Will not to tell Jazz that he's at the reunion, which at this point, I am convinced that this family loves keeping secrets that ends up hurting them way worse in the end just to keep the plot going. This family wouldn't be nowhere near as toxic if they would have just tell people what's happening.
It the first time. So
it'd just be so much.
It don't even be that big. Like, well, no, I kind of feel it though, cause like, all right, I'm pissed at you, right? We not talking. I'm ignoring you. We putting some space in between us right now, and it's all because you invited your ex to your event, and you blowing me up. You trying to come over or whatever, trying to apologize, and you about to tell me that the nigga is at your house right now, kicking it with your family, and he been there all day with y'all.
My father invited him. I had nothing to do with it. I have proof of that.
Yeah, no, get out. No, get out. Get out. Get out. I don't care. That only means that your family loves him too. Not just you, but they love him too.
That shit has nothing to do with me.
I've been like, your daddy didn't invite me, did he? Your current boyfriend.
My dad has a fantasy football team as well, and so he wants to make sure that he gets more points.
Fam, no, none of that is playing.
Flag football game.
If he's already pissed that Hillary invited him to a function where they was looking all cozy, it's only going to make it worse.
You don't see that? I don't know what that is.
Where?
No, on me.
Fam, I'm thinking you trying to tell me I have something in my beard. No, I'm looking at you like, where? Where's that?
That's crazy. No, it's on me.
Yeah, that's great, fam.
That's not great.
Right.
It's not great.
Men of a certain age, fam. You know what I'm saying? 40 is a good year.
I am 23. Anyway.
But, anyways, you made me forget what the fuck I was talking about.
23. This is my Michael Jordan year.
Where were we at? What were we talking about?
We were talking about LaMarcus
If they would just admit what was going on, they'd be in a lot better. But no, I would be pissed. I would definitely be pissed. We're only arguing because he was here, and now he's like showing back up again. So like, is this gonna be a thing now? He just gonna show up every weekend to your family functions? That's what's about to happen?
Maybe. We paid this man for a few episodes. He might have to show up a couple more times. Sorry.
Nah, because I think it's easy for dudes to sniff out when other dudes are interested in their women.
No,
they can say that they're not till the cows come home, but like we know what it looks like.
Yeah.
The same way females know when other females interested, where we might not pick it up.
Absolutely.
Like we know when somebody's sniffing around. You trying to kick them tires, boy. You trying to get that old thing back. You not about to hey big head over here, fam. Facts. I know your game. Yep. I know all your moves and all your spots. Yep. I invented them.
Oh, you invented them.
I invented them.
That's how old you are?
You older than me.
I am 23 and you are 29?
2010.
You ain't 30. You just turned 30. Wow, bro. 7 years older than me. That's crazy. Anyway. Phil pulls Viv aside from showing off her art to bring her into a game of spades, despite her still not knowing how to play. However, it seems Phil and Viv win, which I call bullshit because that doesn't happen.
No, you know how it happens? Patience and who was asking us to do
William
the live
Mola.
stream on there? William. You have a great teacher, and what you will have in me is a great teacher. You will look like Viv when you sit down at that table. Not only will you be sufficient in playing, not only will you know all the rules, but when you lay the final smackdown and you win that final game, you gonna talk shit just like Viv. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be the greatest trash talk you have ever spit out of your mouth. For the low price of free $99, I'm gonna give you the first one for free.
I'm sorry, what? You're selling spades lessons out here now?
For free $99.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I just heard 99. Anyway, Ashley got Uncle Earl a plate and sits down with him. However, since she's only at line 3, he's not fucking with it. Apparently, LaMarcus Alton is fire on the piano. Coco pulls him to the side and lets him know that they're not getting back together. Then she has to judge.
That should have been the end of the conversation.
It really should have been. It really.
She should have just walked away after that.
For some reason, it wasn't. But then she goes to judge the strangely named pie contest. Not sure why all the pies had to have names, but okay.
Because they didn't want to. They wanted it to be an anonymous pick. They didn't want it to be like, oh, this is Philip's pie, and oh, this is Uncle's pie, because then it turns into a popularity contest. And nobody want to hurt nobody's feelings, so they put random names on the pie to conceal it. That's why Jeffrey went and told Hillary, with Philip's cheating ass, what the name of her father's pie was, so that he could rig the damn competition. Not only did you have Hillary make the damn pie, but then you was gonna try to rig the vote too. That's OD. That's OD.
Worse that he has literally the worst name of his pie. Hot Pie Summer is terrible.
Hot Pie Summer.
Anyway. Since G gave her the name of Phil's pie, Hot Pie Summer, she was supposed to vote for it, but she didn't. And because of it, Phil spills the beans and states that she made the pie. But Viv distracts everyone and sends them outside.
Hey, that would probably piss me off too. Like, oh, you gonna pretend like you didn't, this ain't yours? Like you didn't make this? You like his more than yours? Lying ass.
William Moloch says, we getting up there, fam. Keep aging gracefully. And I agree, you should accept 30, because, I'm 23. I'm not getting up there. But you're getting up there, fam.
No one in this stream believes that.
You are how you feel, and I feel like I'm 23. So that's...
Oh, okay. As long as you feel that way.
I do. Anyway, Will and G have a convo about what just went down. And, of course, G's kid... apparently bro is 22 and lives in... Will and G have a convo about what just went down. And of course, it's G's kid. Apparently bro is 22 and lives in London. Will's upset that G never told him, which again, none of his business. But G admits that he didn't know what Will would think.
Maybe it's because of the whole Lou saga and how much he knew that what was going on with Will.
Yeah.
He felt like that was the opportunity for you to tell me what's going on with your situation since it's so similar. What's odd to me is how much understanding Will has for Jeffrey in his situation.
When he didn't have the same for his own father.
Let's line it up. Jeffrey was doing dirt in London with a gang, got a woman pregnant, ended up having to run to protect his family. His mother couldn't crack it. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. His mother couldn't handle the pressures of being a mother and end up giving his son up for adoption. Let's run it back, shall we? Lou was working in and odd jobs, trying to do what he could, but wasn't really making it big. His mom, Will's mom, Vi, was all on his back about it because he wasn't providing, right? He ends up going to jail, trying to provide. They never tell Will what happened to his father. And she ends up allowing her sister and her uncle to take guardianship of Will when she can no longer protect him or keep him safe at home. Hey, Will, how is Jeffrey's story any different from your father's?
It really isn't that different at all.
How is it any different?
The only difference is that Jeffrey is claiming London Street Crips, And I don't think
like
I don't
Lou
think
wasn't in no game.
yeah,
Like
that's
Jeffrey
the
is
only
telling
difference.
you, like, yeah, no, I was a hitter. That's why your father hired me, fam. Okay, or your uncle.
He's
That's why
either
your
London
uncle
Street
hired me.
Crips or he's MI6. One of the two.
So this is Bel Air meets Top Boy.
Yes.
But yeah, man, it's so I love the way they set that up because when Will first hears Lou's story about what happened, even before they get to the point where he calls his mom out of her name or whatever, he's not very receptive to it. He's like, "Oh, you blaming my mom," or you know what I'm saying? Why you ain't try to reach out? Why you ain't try to talk to me? Da, 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 da. He's not receptive at all to the story that he's getting from him. He's defensive naturally. He hears Jeffrey and he has nothing but understanding for all of it. Not a second does he compare himself to his son, to being Jeffrey's son.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any. He doesn't ascribe any of that anger or that ill will that he has for Lou towards
It's
Jeffrey
nothing but
on the behalf
understanding.
of Jeffrey's son, even though he probably knows all too well what Jeffrey's son going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Facts. It's some wild
That's a good
mind
way to bring
games
it
being
home.
done there. Or at least
That's
at
a
the very
way to
least,
bring it home.
it's biased towards Jeffrey.
Well, but no, here's where it's going though. Jeffrey's situation and his reconciliation with his son will ultimately lead to Will giving Lou another chance and them trying to do it again because he'll understand like it wasn't all what I thought it was. And even when he told me what it was, it's still a lot of context missing out of that. And now I get to see it like the whole story. I get to see all of it unbiased.
Yeah.
I can remove myself from it and see what it actually is. It's a situation between two people that didn't work out for whatever reason. And then you add on to all the other, social economical disadvantages that Lou is that he has in this country, at least. And it's like, how that situation couldn't have gone anywhere different than what it did.
Facts. Big facts. Philly explains to Carlton that they need all the help they can get and that LaMarcus Alton is the answer, which is nuts. Which is absolutely crazy.
Which is, hey, first of all, how did you draft an NFL wide receiver on your flag football team and not throw to him every single play?
Did he ever?
Every single
I don't remember ever
play.
throwing.
You mean your nephew and your nephews and 40-year-old Bill Bellamy can beat you in an NFL wide receiver? Phil, I think the problem is you. I think the problem is you. It's sure as hell not the professional over there.
No.
I think the problem is you.
Well,
they should have washed them. They should have been over.
They should have. Absolutely. Especially with him playing both sides, I'm sure. Who's catching the ball over him? He's infinitely taller than everybody else on the field.
No, apparently Will is just as fast as him, and he can run around him. And then they were able to get flags off of him pretty easily too. He must suck. He must suck. You need to stop worrying about Hillary and hit them cones.
Facts.
You need to work them hip flexors out because you are slow.
All right. Uncle Earl asked for dessert to force Ashley's fifth line, and now apparently Uncle Earl is ready to do some conversating for some cookies. She finally got to her 5 lines, fam. Carlton and Bill Bellamy, Carlton and Bill Bellamy Jr. have a convo about how their dads are absolutely trash when it comes to their sibling beef. Apparently, Bill Bellamy calls his son a weak-ass piece of shit.
Hey, yo. What that was the funniest shit. If you ever watch Avatar The Last Airbender, there's scene in there where Zuko is talking about his upbringing to Aang, I think. It was either Aang or what is that? Katara. One of them. And Zuko, he is like, it's the Fire Lord's son, and he's been abused by his father and kicked out of the kingdom to go find the Avatar, right? Quick synopsis. And he's sitting in the cave, and he's like, when my sister was born, my father said it was the best day of his life. When I was born, He said like he smacked the hell out of me, or he said it was the worst day of his life. So it was just really depressing.
That is bad.
And he was just saying it like it was so normal. But I start cracking up because I was like, why would you ever tell anyone that?
That is fucked up.
And it made me think of this scene. Because here this dude come out of nowhere like, yeah, my dad calls me a piece of shit on the regular.
Carlton's like, oh, I don't relate to that at all, but okay.
Because they never address it really.
Yeah,
like they do something to try to curb it. They never address it as an issue.
No. There's
because he is dogging this little boy the whole fucking episode. Like when he's not flaunting him like a trophy.
Yeah.
He's dogging him.
Yeah. Yep. There's a few things as far as this whole Bill Bellamy side of things that they just kind of talked about and then just
glossed over it.
That was it.
Don't fuck it up, Junior. Don't fuck it up. Oh, god damn, Jay. Why you suck so bad?
All right. Once again, Ashley gets a Black History lesson from a Tuskegee Airman, which I would be cool with, but I had to find hilarious since that's all Ashley's good for in this show. Is catching history lessons from other people.
I felt like that was it was a little bit better than what it has been, but yes. You're right, it's still some more other stuff that's not about Ashley. Maybe all of this is forming Ashley's identity. Right. And we're in for a great big coming out party for Ashley in season 3.
Because Ashley is going to become a Tuskegee Airman.
Not a Tuskegee Airman, but she's going to become an Antifa warrior. She's going to be an Antifa. For sure.
She's basically already an Antifa.
No.
She's basically Antifa right now.
She ain't beating nobody else.
She just hasn't actually taken action yet. But
she ain't fighting the fascists out here yet. But that's where in season 3, when Ashley get to high school, for sure. Yikes.
LaMarcus and Will bond over being star athletes, and Bro takes a mean left turn to announce that he's not stopping until he gets Coco Jones back.
Like, hey, yeah, man, yeah, keep working on that stuff, man. Yeah, the AAU, that's going well, right? I'm about to shout your sister.
Like, that's basically what it was. I'm like, bro, can you relax? You don't even know if I know, bro.
I'm about to slay your cousin again, bro. Yo, where did you come from with that? We was just talking about basketball.
Like, I get it. It's Coco Jones, but, like, you're starting to come off like Joe from You.
Whoa, big fella, you acting unusual.
You know?
I ain't never ever seen you act like this.
Okay. On to the flag football game. Which, by the way, I can't tell who's on teams because there's different color shirts, and I didn't realize until they said red and yellow that
you didn't see the flags on the thing?
But I didn't know who was on teams at that point. So I'm just like, I don't know Will was on the other side, and
I knew for sure that Uncle Phil, the football player, and Carlton were together. We knew that before it started. We knew that was one whole team. Right? The only other people on the field was Bill Bellamy, his son, and Will.
That was the other thing. I felt like there was more people on the field. So then I'm like,
nah, it was 3-3. It was 3-on-3.
And why is Will
now? Why was it 3-on-3? And it's all these other people around here. Maybe they was the only ones that lined up and actually wanted to play a football game at the cookout. That seems very likely. But also, I mean, you know, it's flag, so whatever. There are no rules.
I guess. William Moloch
we ain't taxing, so it ain't even real football.
Facts. William Moloch says, my friend is the granddaughter of a Tuskegee Airman. Respect. Respect. Okay. Carlton pushes Bill Bellamy Jr. off the line like Marvin Harrison Jr. would punk-ass Will Johnson. But of course, you hear Bill Bellamy in the back bitching, trying to tell his son to get up. And then, so unlike Marvin Harrison Jr., Carlton drops the ball like a dummy. I was so pissed off at that. Like, I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing, but like, fam.
Hey, he did give you the Jamar Chase. He put him on his butt. He said, first of all, Carlton need to go play football. I don't know what he's doing at lacrosse practice, but he needs to put the pads on and start hitting him with that hem. You know what I'm saying? And go and get you a scholarship.
Facts.
You ain't gonna have no more BSU problems. You start catching touchdowns. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Nah, he don't want to do that, bro.
You need to go out there and hit people with that oh, skirt. You know what I'm saying? Carlton got them moves.
Yeah, absolutely. Much like her son on
Bill
Friday
Bellamy still talking shit.
to his son while
Oh,
he's on the
son, why
ground.
you suck so bad?
If you don't extend your hand to your son and pick him up off the ground, like, be a father.
Come on, Jay. Don't mess it up. Don't be a loser.
Carlton's already in the end zone. It's a little too late for that pep talk. Much like her son on Friday, Grandma admits that today was a good day and thanks Viv for all that she did. Viv tries to dodge the compliment, but Grandma knows who really did the work to make today happen.
Nah, look at them reconciling.
I guess. Of course, at the end of the reunion, Bill Bellamy admits that despite his braggadocious demeanor, he only tries to one-up Phil because he had to be good at something while Phil was doing shit like going to college. Strange that the end of the episode is the first time anybody mentioned that Bill Bellamy lost his wife. Why did that information just go, like, come and go?
Maybe that's the explanation for him being so crappy, is because he lost his wife. So we have some sympathy on him.
I guess it's the end of the episode now. It's just a strange time to drop the ball. Like Carlton.
It makes sense as to why it means so much to him if you just lost something like that. You know, a little competition to try to get the blood back pumping, maybe. I don't know.
You missed.
I don't know. They didn't do a good job tying that up, so maybe that's going to be something that carries on to the next time we see Phil's brother. Maybe they'll still be working on trying to get them better. You know, better with his son. Speaking
of Carlton, because you missed the joke. I said just a strange time to drop that ball like Carlton. Speaking of Carlton, Phil seems to know that Carlton dropped that John to appease Bill Bellamy and his son. Phil then admits that he's always betting on Carlton to win so that they can have their nice little family moment. Because we're wrapping up the episode. Everybody gets to have their nice little moments.
No. Okay, did you hear what Bellamy was saying to Phil about their father?
Yes.
And how he had to work extra hard to prove to his dad because he was always betting on Phil to win.
Yes,
he doesn't want Carlton growing up thinking that he doesn't believe in him. He heard that in his grown-ass brother who's acting a damn fool because of that and doesn't want Carlton to be there.
Right. Nice
context cord.
Nice
tie it together.
Moment. Nice little family moment.
Yes, Josh. It's a family show to a certain degree.
Fuck that shit. When are they going to start doing drugs and...
Wrong show.
When is Jeffrey going to kill somebody? I thought that was supposed to happen like season 1.
Why would that happen? Who do they need to kill?
He's a hitman. That's what he does.
He doesn't do that type of work anymore. He's a retired.
Jeffrey is Agent 47 / Big Crip OG. He kills people. That's what he does.
We haven't seen Jeffrey even hold a gun in this entire series.
Jeffrey is over here on witness protection from killing a bunch of people over in
Whatever happened to Rashad? Is that ever going to come back into play?
No. They don't want to pay that actor anymore. He's getting big battle rap bags.
Well, no, I'm assuming he's dead. I'm just saying, is that ever going to come back to bite Jeffrey?
No.
Because that problem just disappeared. It just like went away.
Hitman by way of the London Street Crips and MI6.
I don't see them allowing Jeffrey to have killed him. If that's not going to come up and be a thing at some point, like somebody come out of nowhere one time and kill Jeffrey and tell him he's being arrested for the murder of Homeboy.
It's not going to happen because Jeffrey disposed of him the correct way.
Okay,
he's a professional hitman.
We ain't seen Jeffrey bust a grape.
That's the point.
He could have been a lookout.
You're not.
He could have been a corner boy. We have no idea what Jeffrey was before he met Phil. Phil could have cleaned him up and put him in these suits and made him look better than he is or was. We have no clue what he was doing.
He put him through Agent 47 hitman training.
Okay.
And that's why he always wears a suit.
So, that we are coming towards the end of the stream. You want to talk predictions?
No. I still got more. Will tells Bill Bellamy that he likes his story, and I realized that Will had a job with a car salesman in the OG Fresh Prince as well. Only problem is, He's in North Carolina,
North
so
Carolina, maybe like a summer thing,
I was going to say
summer
unless
job.
maybe Bill Bellamy opens a LA dealership, maybe, or I don't know.
He does have the biggest car dealership line in the South.
So
I don't know if you
he could
heard.
make a move to LA.
I
Then
don't know. I don't know if
Will
you
gets a
heard, but it's
job
the
there.
biggest car chain in the South.
I did hear that. Care to say
Did
it
you see
again?
it on the back of the T-shirts that it's the biggest car lot chain in the South?
I did.
I think he mentioned it again at the end of the football game. I'm like, hey yo, fam, ain't none of your family members gonna buy these cars. You shipping it to the wrong crowd.
K-Pop says Ashley feels like a ghost on the show. She's always talking, or she's always taking a backseat to everybody else. Hillary's about to get caught up. Poor Jazz. I feel bad for him. Will and the love triangle between Lisa and Jackie, both fine. Jackie is more fine than Lisa, but Lisa has a lot more substance.
You think Jackie looked better than Lisa?
I do.
Oh, blouse.
I do.
Blouse.
I didn't say by much. I just,
No, I mean if that's what you like, that's what you like. I disagree.
Yeah,
disagree.
I like Jackie better, but as a full all-around person, Lisa is clearly better.
And then also now that I've seen them together, I think Jackie pretty close to being a little person, probably out of shoes. Because I never thought that Lisa was all that tall, but then seeing how much taller she is than Lisa, she's like Oompa Loompa level. She's fun size. Some people are into that, you know?
When you put it like that, no. Carlton allows Will to stay in the race for the Founders Award, and the two have a smiley back and forth about it. That's going to come back and turn into a war between them, I'm sure.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, again, they do not drag conflicts out on this show. They find other ways to drive the plot forward than pointless arguments.
Yeah.
So I don't. Now that they've already done the thing where, you know, Carlton was clearly taken aback and hurt a little bit that Will was going for it, and he was a little bit intimidated. His parents tried to protect him from it. Will got pushed into doing it after he didn't want it initially. The next phase is for them both to accept it as the competition it is. It would be a weird arc for Carlton to step up to the plate and accept the competition just to double back and be mad if he loses or if it doesn't go his way. That would be an odd way to take the character. So I don't see it being that big of a thing going forward. The Founders Award will be a big thing. The competition between them two won't be as much as a plot driver as it was these last two episodes, though, now that they've pieced it up. At least I think so.
Okay, we'll see. We'll have to see.
That's just not how they do it. They don't usually drive it with petty conflict.
But they've also been talking about this Founders Award for multiple episodes, so I can't imagine that it won't be a major plot point at some point. And
I'm gonna be real mad if they give it to Will.
I will.
I really am,
because he shouldn't
makes
even
no
been nominated.
sense. I know that their grades aren't even close. Not to mention that the only extracurricular that Will has on his resume is basketball, which he was kicked off of, and he's been suspended this year. What are we talking about? How is he up for the most prestigious award in the entire school, and he's coming off a suspension?
He is literally probably the worst kid in Bel Air.
Just
quite possibly the worst.
Well, I won't say that. He's not a burnout. He had grades enough to be on the basketball team.
Oh, you know what?
But he's definitely not high up on the scholar list. For sure not.
I forgot Connor's a whole drug dealer, so he might be the worst. So.
No, they have actual degenerates at this school for sure.
Will cuts in on Phil and Viv, and Will says, and I quote, "The family reunion is dope and all, but Jeffrey needs to see his son. Make that shit happen right now, Uncle Phil. Right fucking
He didn't
now."
say that, but he was definitely who are you talking to, Will? Who are you talking to? Get your hand off my shoulder. Who are you talking to?
Oh, man. Bill Bellamy speaks to the family and thanks Uncle Phil and company for the reunion. That's when Phil gets on stage to thank the historic lineage in his family, and I low-key expected Sweetie to pop out and do an encore performance. Turns out that they offer the trophy over to Uncle Earl for his service, because, again, touching family moment number 15.
This is a family reunion.
I'm not used to all this family love
Pessimistic
in this show.
Patty.
All right?
Jesus.
I watch Power where the son kills the father, okay? I'm not used to this.
The damn family reunion.
And the aunt and
Y'all,
the
y'all swap what y'all family reunions up.
I watched Snowfall. I watched Snowfall where the aunt and nephew are in a fucking war against each other. Okay, cut me some slack.
I haven't seen a family reunion, not one of those shows.
Facts. Bel Air couldn't be happier with how Black Day attempted to make this episode, so they gathered the family reunion together and did a Soul Train line to Maze's Before I Let Go. And while I love that song,
the cringe hurt my stomach.
And while I love that song,
don't call it out. Just tell everybody to come on, and then you form into the line. Don't. Oh my God, Soul Train line! I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, while I love that song, this entire episode could have been a made-for-Tubi special instead of an episode this season.
Yo, Tubi specials are nuts. I believe that Tubi movies are filmed on iPhones for sure.
I want to review Tubi movies on this channel.
No, I will never do it. Won't do it. Not going to do it.
I'll do it by myself.
Okay.
Tubi movies are hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Especially the ones in like Detroit, and they got a couple of them in Columbus. I think I might do that.
We do not have to do this.
We do.
We could just wrap up.
Tubi movies. And you know what's crazy? Peacock has some crazy movies like that too.
We can just wrap it up.
I am doing a Tubi movie segment, just like you do your comic book reviews.
Sorry in advance, guys.
Put a pin in that. Not sure if he was looking for Coco Jones or frightened by all the black people gathered around all at once, but LaMarcus makes a beeline for the house and finds Coco all alone on her phone, supposedly still waiting for Jazz to hit her back. LaMarcus successfully gets her to step out and dance, and that's when Jazz finally hits her back and let her know that he's going to leave the door open.
Hey, fam, listen to me. Life advice here. If you're going to fold anyway, don't waste time. Just fold early. Just fold early. You know what I'm saying? Like, letting shit linger like that gets people wondering. They start thinking, well, damn, maybe he don't want to be with me, or maybe he broke up with me and he's just not trying to tell me. Maybe he ran away. You let her mind run like that, she gonna come up with some crazy stuff.
Yep.
If you was just gonna fold anyway, probably should have folded a couple hours ago.
Facts. Big facts. I don't know why he didn't, but hey, he gonna leave the door open.
I fully expected somebody to have a Snapchat out or Instagram or something like that, and they got, oh, look who at my family reunion. Oh, Lord.
Will or Carlton or Ashley.
They'll probably go looking once she doesn't show up, and it doesn't look like she's showing up. So.
No, because she's with LaMarcus Alton. Terrible name. Any other thoughts on Bel Air season 2, episode 6?
Decent episode. Little. It was a filler episode, but it was done in an interesting way. I felt like that gives us. It did move the plot forward on a couple of different lines on Phil and. Jeffrey and Aunt Viv, and then also with Coco and Jazz. So a few people got their storylines moved forward, and it was an interesting enough and a funny enough episode to keep me engaged. So for a filler episode, I said it wasn't bad.
I agree. It was kind of like the Yamakra episode of last season.
Yeah, sure.
Somewhat. So
yeah,
no, it was